Because Chris's work is at the hospital,
Right.
Yep. Saying all these things, and he almost had to move with this position.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Nothing.
Bill. Yeah.
There you go. Welcome to another exciting night of high school football from Municipal Stadium and Larry Kelly Field in Daytona Beach. Tonight, Double D Productions brings you the number 3 ranked 4A Cocoa Tigers and the 6A SEABREEZE SANDCRABS. Hello, everyone. I'm Billy Gahagan along with legendary coaches Steve Allen and Rocky Yoakum. Legendary.
Half right, Bill. Half right.
We're legends in our own mind, Bill.
Whatever matters to you guys matters the most. Coaches, Cocoa High School comes to Volusia County ranked number 3 in Class 4A with a 4-1 record. Their loss was to Trinity High School out of Kentucky, who coincidentally is the number 1 ranked team in the entire state of Kentucky. At this time, we will wait for the national anthem.
I can't hear. I hear Billy, but I don't hear you through the
Test. 2, 2, 2. I'm good. I've got Rocky.
Yep.
I
Test
got
1,
Rocky.
2. Test 1, 2.
So that's a yes?
Test,
Yes, sir.
test,
Yes, sir.
Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2,
I
3.
think everybody's good from here.
All right. I'm sorry, Coach. I thought they were going to play the national anthem.
It did appear that they were going to, but
All right, so let's go ahead and... Yes. Back to a little bit of pregame. So, Cocoa, like many of the teams we've seen this season, boasts a plethora of talent. Colleges like Florida, Florida State, Ohio State, Clemson, they've all made their way through the halls of Cocoa High School. Coach Allen, you know Coach Wilkinson pretty well. They have outscored their opponents 205-94. I'm sure he's not looking past SEABREEZE, but with the team that he has to feel pretty good.
well, Coach, in 10 years, Coach Wilkinson is 104-20 at Cocoa. I don't think you can get to 104-20 looking past people. They have great talent, the likes of Jamal Dean, corner who has an Ohio State commit. Another young man we need to watch tonight, number 2, Adrian Johnson, undersized. He was a nose guard. They moved him out to defensive end. Coach Wilkinson's real high on him. Everybody knows about Chauncey Gardner, he is a difference maker, and he is a Florida commit. 2 interceptions this year. Coco's number 3 in the state, and we're going to take a break here for the national anthem.
That was SEABREEZE High School senior Summer Foley with a great rendition of the national anthem. Coach Allen?
Yeah, back to the players that we're looking for on the Tiger squad. Bruce Judson, a junior, he has Miami, Clemson, and Ohio State. 949 yards pass. He's something else, and by all accounts, he is the guy on this field tonight. Marquise Lewis, number 21, is a Miami commit. Justin Weaver is their leading rusher, number 23, 725 yards rushing. Coach Wilkinson has won 3 state championships in those 10 years at Cocoa High, and he's just done a tremendous job, and each year he's right up there in the mix to win it all. Last year they lost to a Washington team in the state semifinals, and that's a Miami-Washington team. They lost 41-13, and they're always right there in the hunt, and I don't expect any less than a physical, well-coached, hard-nosed, and very talented football team.
Coach, they're 1-0 in the district. This is their last non-district game before they go on a 3-game district tear of Space Coast, Port Orange Atlantic, and then the showdown, which I would assume with Jones is going to be for the district championship. Yeah, Coach, I think that you use good terminology when you say tear, because I'm pretty sure they're going to take care of all 3 of those teams. I know that Jones has struggled with some teams, Atlantic, Matanzas, and some deals there that aren't necessarily, their district is not necessarily that tough. And I don't know if that hurts them or helps them. I just think that they know how to win. They're accustomed to winning. And Coach Wilkinson and his staff, Coach Higgins, those guys, they've been around, and they know what they're doing, and they got good talent, and that's a good combination. And I look for them to make a deep run again this year. Across the field from the Tigers, SEABREEZE is not having a SEABREEZE-like season. They lost Jeremiah Wilson in the spring jamboree to an injury, which required surgery. He may be back in a few weeks. It's really hard to say if Jeremiah's presence would have changed any of the SANDCRABS outcomes. Coach Yoakum, the SANDCRABS lost to Cocoa last season 62-21. The players SEABREEZE relied on are all in college. SEABREEZE is only averaging 11 points per game. This isn't a district game, so on one hand, that's a big thing for them. On the other hand, it's homecoming. So how does SEABREEZE avoid a devastating loss tonight?
Well, we were talking before the game, and the first one was to hope that the Cocoa bus did not arrive, and it is here.
Right, that off the list.
That is off the list. So we're going to have to rely on Bubba Ballish and at defensive back, and Cole Dunnigan, a linebacker, and Chance Hamilton, a linebacker, Will Roth at defensive end. Shark Bite, Rashad Floyd is their leading receiver with only 9 catches. SEABREEZE only completing about 33% of their passes this year, which is certainly uncharacteristic, and probably the number 1 player they've got. I know UCF is here to watch him tonight, is Sam Hayworth, who's the kicker and punter on the team. He's 3rd in the area in punting, and I believe leading in kicking. You're going to have to play great in the kicking game. They can't turn the football over, and their defense is going to have to play as well as they've played all year.
Coach, they're 1-4. Their 1 win is a district win. They're in a district with Mainland, Deltona, New Smyrna Beach, and Pine Ridge. So even at 1-4, they're still sitting at a runner-up position in the district.
There are times when you get down to that playoff end and you look and you see a team with a losing record who is a playoff team, and the way things are set up, but with keeping the champion and the runner-up both alive in the playoffs, it keeps a lot of interest throughout the state, not just in this district. So if it was a 1-team district like it used to be, or only the champion went, Mainland would have it locked up, and everybody else just be trying to get through the season. But they still have some playoff hopes ahead of them. They have hopes of getting their quarterback back. I believe. Is he dressed tonight, Coach?
He's not dressing.
Okay.
He told me after school today that he was looking to play in the Deltona game.
Well, that'll be a very important football game, and
Deltona is a much improved Deltona team. It's not the same Deltona team they have been in the past. Coach Allen is doing a great job with those kids, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. SEABREEZE and Deltona might be on an even playing field.
I can't believe you're saying that either. I'll just have to see that to believe it, I guess. Here we go, Coach. The SANDCRABS are going to kick this thing off to get started.
SEABREEZE won the toss. They elected to defer. Cocoa will receive. Sam Hayworth in to kick it off from his 40. SEABREEZE is defending the east end zone to start the game. Hayworth gets his foot into it, gets a kick into the end zone, just crosses the goal line. That's good enough for a touchback. So the Cocoa Tigers will set up shop 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line.
That's a great kick, Bill. They've got Chauncey Gardner back there, and he is just not somebody. You want to limit the times that guy's got his hands on the ball, and they did, arguably SEABREEZE's MVP, and Sam Hayworth does a great job on the opening kickoff.
Coco will come out in their orange pants, white jerseys, SEABREEZE red on white. Like we said, it is homecoming night for the SANDCRABS. And the SANDCRABS are looking to avenge last year's loss.
Coach Yoakum, the eye contest, it doesn't look favorable for the Crabs as they line up in the lines of scrimmage here.
No, I want to watch this big number 74 who's owned the line of scrimmage on the first pass protection. Wow, what a nice throw.
Yes, it was, Coach.
Sophomore quarterback Bruce Judson's pass is complete. First play of the game goes for about 30 yards.
Asante Griffin.
Let's hope that this isn't an indication of things to come.
Coco's traditionally a run-first team, and with this young man back here pulling the trigger, Mr. Judson, he's only 5'11", and I'm not sure how that projects at the next level, but at this level it projects very well. Definitely a little different look from a Coco team, having its field spread out a little bit. Makes it tough on anybody with these kind of athletes.
Judson hands the ball off for a gain of 3 on the play.
Number 74, I've got to find his name. Coach Allen, can you help me out with that?
Yes, sir. Number 74 is Jaywan Taylor. Jaywan is 6'5", 355, Coach, every bit of it.
Well, he just took the left defensive tackle from SEABREEZE and drove him down over the top of the nose guard to create the inside part of that crease.
The tight end there with him, Coach, that's Zach Armour. Zach Armour's also 6'4". He's only 200 pounds, but it's a lot of length there.
SANDCRABS showing blitz. Here they come. Home run ball down the middle of the field, having the receiver wide open, caught at the 10-yard line, and he's going to drag the SEABREEZE defender all the way into the end zone. Jamel Dean on the reception for the touchdown.
Coach, you can see why he's an Ohio State commit. He has 350 yards prior to that. That's 3 plays and 6 points, and that does not bode well for the homecoming SANDCRABS. 2 balls thrown, Coach, right on the money both times.
Beautiful throws. That last throw, the receiver was wide open running down the middle of the field.
Hard to attempt a point after without the kicker, as Coco looks a little confused. And they're going to have to waste an early timeout. So 3 plays into the ball game. Coco goes up 6-0. We're waiting for the point after. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to
I don't have
Municipal
anything.
Stadium, Daytona Beach, Larry Kelly Field. We've sorted things out. The Tigers in for the point after. That's Mark Mosley in to attempt the point after. You're welcome.
That's right.
Jawan Armstrong.
The Hogs will be here shortly.
Point after is up, and it's good. Coco leads 7-0 over SEABREEZE. This is where we usually take a break, but we're going to go ahead and look at some of the other games around the area. Coach Allen, Matanzas at 1-3 is traveling to Pine Ridge 1-4. Matanzas has a few more playmakers than Pine Ridge.
Yeah, and I just I've got one of my former staff members, Robert Ripley's taking that job, so I have a vested interest in that, and I want to see him do well, and I know he's doing good things with those guys, and sometimes in that first year, things don't go your way all the time, but you try to see little ways that you're making progress, and I think Matanzas is making some progress, and I look for them to win that football game.
Coach Yoakum, 5-0 Vieira travels to Atlantic. They're 1-4. This won't be pretty for the Sharks.
No, it's Vieira's a fairly new school down there in Brevard County in the Palm Bay area. We had a chance to play them when I was at New Smyrna. 5-0 team coming down here. I think they'll be pretty tough on the Sharks.
Juwan Armstrong set to kick off from his 40-yard line for the Tigers. They lead the home team, SEABREEZE SANDCRABS, by a score of 7-0, 10:30 remaining in the first quarter. Armstrong gets his toe into it. It's going to be fielded at the 15. That's Ratavius Sanders on the return. He's going to take the ball up to about the 33-yard line. SEABREEZE will have their first possession of the evening, 1st and 10.
Coach, I'm going to be interested to see Adrian Johnson from listening to Coach Wilkinson and some other coaches in the area. He is dynamic, and they just think that he is just such a difference maker. And, he's an undersized guy. He's not going to be amid all the commits that they have running around out there. But I know that he is some kind of football player.
One of the other players that Coach Wilkinson is high on is number 66. He's 5'11", 210 pounds. He's only a freshman, but he calls the kid a man-child.
That would be Howard Stewart or Jacob Francisco.
Howard Stewart, yep. Scott Summers in at quarterback for the SANDCRABS. He's going to take the ball and just run to his right, looking to change field. Doesn't work. Swallowed up quickly by the Tigers. It'll be 2nd down, no gain on the play.
Much like last night, you start getting sideways and start taking your, trying to redirect 2 and 3 times against the Cocoa Tigers. You're not going to find very, very many places to go.
Cocoa has the players shaken up on the play as the training staff tends to him. We'll take a break and be right back. 10:06 remaining in the first quarter. It's Cocoa 7, SEABREEZE nothing. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium. Larry Kelly Field, Billy Gahagan, Steve Allen, Rocky Yoakum. It's the SEABREEZE SANDCRABS and the Cocoa Tigers.
Coach, you take a look at Jamal Dean out here. You can see why, on the touchdown in Ohio State. He is a long 6'2", playing on the corner. He is a good-looking young man.
Summers
got him blocked.
Hands the ball off on the speed sweep. That's Javier Sylvester playing a little bit of wide out. He's been their tailback typically. Good pickup for the SANDCRABS. It'll be 1st and 10 from the SEABREEZE 46.
A little different look out of the SANDCRABS tonight, Coach.
Yeah, not what we're used to seeing so far. It's the 3rd time we've seen them. It's changed up a little bit. Summers stays in at quarterback.
They have a jet, a power, a counter, and a quarterback keep off of this little set here that they're running. We've seen this a number of times, generally in short yardage, and Coach Beach has kind of opted to go to this early. Just trying to find ways to be successful, and it's not easy.
Summers faked the handoff to Sylvester, kept the ball himself. Loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 14 for the Crabs.
Don't want to be behind the chains against a group like this. They're much like the Mainland group last night. They're fast and they're physical.
A lot of their players go both ways, Coach?
Coach, they only have 29 football players, so they're going to have a number of them that are going to go both ways.
It's 29 of them, and 27 of them are athletes.
You have that right, Coach.
Delay of game will be the call. against SEABREEZE. That's the first tally of the evening.
We're hoping to see very little of the A1 officials tonight.
That's another bus we were hoping.
Oh, and you beat me to that one, baby. You beat me to it, Bill. Hey, I'd give it. Yes, sir. You were in my mind on that one, sir.
But Coach Asher, wow. The dean, Coach Oakham, that was a great bump. He set it all up.
Yes, he did.
Second and very long. Sylvester in motion.
There we go.
Summers going to keep the ball and gain quite a few yards back that he lost in penalty and lost yardage. Going to bring up third down for SEABREEZE. Third and about 12. I'm sure there's a lot of head scratching going on, Coach Oakham, on the SEABREEZE sideline. Again, this isn't what we're accustomed to seeing from a Mark Beach team.
No, but you just got to take the hand you're dealt and do the very best you can with it. And Coach Beach has tried to go the other route at quarterback, and now he's going to try to make it a run game. And they're just going to have to. They're certainly in a throwing down here. We'll see how that goes.
I think we're going to get an official's timeout. We are getting an official's timeout.
I think he was helping some player with a chin strap.
Well, that was nice of him.
Yeah, that's what they get the big bucks for.
Third and a bunch here. You just got to stay away from these downs. There's not a lot of play calls that you have. Defensive down, they can pin their ears back and turn it loose. Come get you.
Sylvester in motion, handoff on the speed sweep.
Well, that play right there is a first down play.
He's going to gain the first down yardage. And a few more. He'll be taken out of bounds at the Cocoa 39-yard line. And there's a flag on the play.
Coach, the SEABREEZE ball carrier took Coach Wilkinson completely off of his feet right there.
Well, I saw one of the coaches go down. I didn't know who it was.
Holding is the call against SEABREEZE. And the spot of that is behind the line of scrimmage. No, it's just at the line of scrimmage. So we're going to lose some yards and replay the down.
Well-conceived play. Their jet sweep. They seem to have a little blocking scheme on the outside where they can find a crease. And Summers, Silvestri, they're doing a good job out there.
Javier was a defensive back who's been converted to the offensive side of the ball for SEABREEZE, and I know that you took a liking to him the very first time you saw him, Coach Allen.
Absolutely. We liked him. He got some good time 2 weeks ago, and he did some good things, a little undersized, but just came in there, did a nice job. And I think he's well in the game plan tonight for the Crabs.
He's coming in motion again. Summers will keep it this time. Look for some running room. Has a few yards to gain. Brought down by Adrian Johnson after a gain of about 3. It'll bring up fourth and very long. First chance to see Hayworth punt tonight.
I was just saying that's a similar play to what we saw last night, run by Oviedo, where their quarterback faked the speed sweep and kept it up inside. And they had some potential yards there, but we'll see what Hayworth can do with this punt now.
Jamel Dean back deep to receive for the Tigers. Hayworth standing at his 24-yard line.
And Jamel Dean has already made his presence felt tonight. Very nice.
High punt, nose down. It's going to bounce at the 25 and take that punter's roll and go out of bounds at the 22.
SEABREEZE so far in the kicking game has done a good job of limiting return yards. They've got that at 0. That's a plus.
Officials timeout on the field for water. As they take it, we will too. 5:57 to go in the first quarter. It's Cocoa 7, SEABREEZE nothing. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium at Larry Kelly Field. Billy Hagan, Steve Allen, and Rocky Yoakum. 7-0. Cocoa leads SEABREEZE on homecoming night for the SANDCRABS. Cocoa will have their second possession of the evening at their 22-yard line. 2
throws and 1 run in the first possession equals a touchdown. Let's see how Johnny's going to handle this. He's going to throw it again.
Judson near side. That's Zach Armour on the reception. Nice play by R.J. Stokes, bringing down the big receiver.
Excellent tackle. Yeah, it's definitely a different look out of this Cocoa team. We've seen them over the years. Again, be a predominantly run team, wing T, and they're utilizing the skill level that they've got right here because Mr. Judson seems to have a pretty good handle on this quarterback position, Coach Yoakum.
Yes, he does. He's throws a nice ball, lots of confidence. Another pass.
Judson rolls to his left, has some pressure, throws an interception. Intercepted by number 24. That's Gage Van Dever.
We gave him the kiss of death, Coach. We started giving him some love, and he throws it to the other team.
Just what the SANDCRABS needed right there. Now they've got to get some points out of this.
Absolutely. We saw last night and how vital it is when you can make the other team turn the football over. And it doesn't matter if you don't capitalize, as Oviedo had made Mainland turn it over 5 times and got Neal.
1st and 10, SEABREEZE from the Cocoa 26-yard line. This time, the SANDCRABS send out Scott Summers again, so there's no this time. He's coming back in. Sylvester will take his natural spot at the tailback position. Cocoa showing corner blitz. Sylvester's brought down in a hurry after a loss of 1 on the play. Brandon Phillips on the stop for the Tigers. Last night the Lions, tonight the Tigers, same colors.
It's a zoo out here.
Well played. Well played. You get 1 free one on the night. Summers with Sylvester and Xavier Adams in the backfield. Sylvester on the carry. And once again brought down by Brandon Phillips.
SEABREEZE's run schemes don't look too bad. They don't. They're just at such a size disadvantage.
Third down, and we'll call it 9 for SEABREEZE. From the Cocoa 25. Justin Muller in at quarterback for the Crabs. He's going to take it himself down to the 21.
I think he missed the handoff there. I think he was supposed to hand that ball off to the tailback. He was smart enough after he missed the handoff, I believe, to follow the back where the hole was blocked.
I think you're right, Coach. It looked like we had a little exchange issue there.
Coach Yoakum, by the way, I lied to you. Jeremiah Wilson is dressed this evening, standing on the sidelines. Hayworth in for the Crabs to attempt a 37-yard field goal.
See if the SEABREEZE SANDCRABS can capitalize on the turnover. Yes, sir. Very nice.
Hayworth's kick is up and good. 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. It's now Cocoa 7, SEABREEZE 3.
Wow.
Hayworth's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. Cocoa will have their third possession of the evening, starting at their 20-yard line.
Sam Hayworth continues to impress, Coach. That's 2 great kicks. Field goal knocks it through, no problem, with plenty of room to spare, and he has been good each and every time that we have seen the SANDCRABS play.
Just very consistent.
DNA.
And getting that's
I was
right.
going to say, just like his grandfather.
For those of you who don't know, that would be the infamous Tony Mellacrino.
Ray.
SANDCRABS showing blitz. They're going to come up the gut. Hudson's going to keep the ball himself and be brought down. That's Cole Dunnigan on the stop for the SANDCRABS, but after a gain of 12, move the chains for the Tigers.
Bruce Judson looks like he's just one of those kids who understands what to do with the ball in his hands. A lot of kids are fast, but maybe not fast with the ball. He just looks like he has a feel for what to do with it when he's running with it.
He's easy to find out there with those green leggings.
Yes, he is. Easy to find, hard to tackle.
Judson will hand the ball off. Gain of 8 on the play.
Coco gets in that heavy set with the wing, Coach. There's a lot of humanity over here on that side. It was pretty obvious where that ball was going to come, and I'm sure it was obvious to the Crabs too. And you still knowing it's coming and being able to get that thing stopped are 2 different things.
That's right. I think some of the biggest losses I ever took, I think we knew exactly what was going to happen. There was just nothing we could do about it.
That was Justin Weaver on the carry.
And Justin Weaver on the field, Coach Gahagan, when you stand by that young man, he is a nice-looking specimen.
Weaver again on the carry. He's going to get tripped up. Being credited for the tackle will be Gage Van Dever. It'll be 3rd and 2. 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1.
Looks like about 3rd and 1 inch from here.
That's what it is. I'd run right.
Coach, if it was 3rd and 1 for your life, I'm pretty sure that I am bringing it over here behind my man Jawan Taylor.
He's not that big for a building.
Yeah, they say TV puts some pounds on you. Well, we're watching this live. They ganged up inside that time.
Hudson.
Very nice job by the Crabs.
Down the carry. The Crabs had the right defense dialed up. Loss of 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 4th and 2 for the Tigers.
Crabs standing up, Coach Yoakum.
They are.
One of the hardest things you get, we've been in these situations, no matter how good a coach you think you are, and the success that you've had, you have seasons like this, and one of the hardest things is to get your kids to continue to play, and especially play when you're overmatched.
And I really thought Coach Wilkinson might give him a chance to even be more overconfident. I thought maybe he would go for it, but he's going to do the smart thing here and punt the football.
Chauncey Gardner will have that responsibility. He'll be standing at his 27-yard line when he gets his punt off back deep to receive.
He's
the
a junior.
SANDCRABS.
They say he's a Florida commit.
Sanders is back deep.
Left-footed. It's going to bounce.
Sanders will field the ball at his 25, and he's going to get slung to the ground immediately. In on the stop was Aaron Croy.
My high school coach, Phil Robbins in Virginia, is a Hall of Fame coach, and had a similar situation to that in high school once, and Coach Robbins relayed to me that there's a fine line between courage and stupidity.
That's very true.
So you have to make a good decision there. Those guys are on top of you. You don't have to make a huge play there. Don't cost your team yards. Every yard's going to be hard fought in a game like this, and they're going to need them all. You like to see the aggressiveness.
Well, we've got the end of the first quarter in the books here, folks.
7:28. That's Might be a record for us, guys.
Warp speed.
Might be a record. Coach Cahagan, it would look like your alma mater is got the lights on over there tonight. Father Lopez.
That's a great segue, Coach. And let's go to you for that one. Montverde 0-3 is going to visit Coach Campanella's alma mater. They're 3-2. Don't let Montverde's record fool you. Their loss is to Trinity Christian out of Texas. They played IMG. They're going to be prepared for Father Lopez, and they have a lot of D1 kids on their roster, Coach.
Yeah, they do, and it's one of those places that's been a basketball school, much like Florida Air's been traditionally, where they go out and get some kids, and they've recruited actively through Mark Tidwell, their coach, actively through the Orlando area. I just like Father Lopez in that game. I think Lopez is, they're 3-2 and kind of got it going a little bit, and understand they've got an opportunity here to have maybe one of their best seasons in maybe a decade.
Justin Muller back in at quarterback for the SANDCRABS. He's going to hand the ball off. That's Sylvester. He's going to be dropped immediately. First play in the second quarter.
I know this is a little bit different style of football than Coach Beach is probably accustomed to playing on a consistent basis. But, give him credit for being flexible in as a coach, to knowing that, they're just not capable of doing the things that he has done in the past in their spread set. And he's trying to mold around his talent.
Has SEABREEZE thrown a pass yet tonight?
SEABREEZE has not thrown a pass, Coach.
You'd have to look a long way back in Coach Beach's record, I think, to find a first quarter where no balls were put in the air.
Absolutely. Probably, I would say it would be a first. I would be willing to bet that.
That was Sylvester again on the carry. He gained about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 10 now. 10:50 and clock continues to go.
I think it's pretty obvious that the SANDCRABS are trying to milk that play clock, shorten the game, limit possessions, and that's one of their strategies to try to get through this game and stay competitive in it. I think it's a good strategy.
Muller under pressure. He's going to pull the ball down. He gets swallowed up immediately by number 52. That's Quincy Pratt, 6'1", 275. First guy there for the Tigers. Brings up a punting situation for SEABREEZE.
There are a number of young kids playing on this Cocoa bunch, but they are generally a veteran team. I think Coach Wilkinson would consider them a veteran team.
I admire the fact that Coach Wilkinson and the Cocoa Tigers haven't backed down from anybody. They've scheduled people all over America to play.
They have.
What a nice punt.
Absolutely.
It'll bounce at the 36. Good idea. Not giving that ball a chance to bounce away from them. Sylvester downs the ball for the SANDCRABS.
Yep, heads up play right there. Probably saved them 10 yards.
Fourth possession for the Tigers. They will have the ball starting at their 37-yard line.
And we talked about earlier how when you've got an athletic bunch, you like to limit those return situations. And so far, the SANDCRABS have done that in 3 opportunities. There are no return yards for Cocoa.
First and 10 Tigers. Bruce Judson throws quickly near side. That's Asante Griffin.
He's not done, guys. He's not done. Wow.
Good pursuit by the SANDCRABS.
Absolutely. The way SEABREEZE is playing that, Coach, if they turn out number 2 and they clear out number 1, they're going to just flip it out here, and there's not going to be anybody there.
All right.
I don't know if anybody is relaying that information to whomever is the play caller for the Tigers, but the way that SANDCRABS are configured, at least on the last snap.
All right, they're going to come up with a safety this time,
Yes, sir.
but last time you're absolutely correct. It looked like a quarter's coverage or maybe straight man.
Bubba Balish recorded the tackle for SEABREEZE. It's going to be 2nd and 14 now for the Tigers.
Oh.
Justin Weaver weaving his way through the line of scrimmage and into the secondary for the SANDCRABS. It'll bring up a third down now for Cocoa.
Coach, I think it's real interesting that these spread teams and these one-back teams have gone to, basically still running the old power play, just pulling the guard, but there's no second blocker in the hole and just kind of adapting it to, where people are putting their numbers. And you're going to have to tackle this young man because he is not an easy tackle. Wow.
Pass intended for Jamel Dean. It's too high for him to handle. It'll bring up fourth down for Cocoa.
Coach, do you think that Cocoa is here? Again, we've alluded to the fact that have generally, historically, been a run-first team. You think they're working on their pass game tonight because maybe they know that they are a heavy favorite and they overmatch SEABREEZE?
They very well may, and I guess we'll probably see if their passing game isn't successful and they start ripping them with the run. We'll know that was the case.
Chauncey Gardner gets his left foot into it. It's going to go over the head of Ratavius Sanders inside the 10, and it's going to be finally down at about the 8-yard line.
Lost about 15 yards there by not fielding the punt. Cardinal rule of the punt returners: don't let the ball touch the ground. SANDCRABS didn't do that. They did let the ball touch the ground and cost them an additional 15 yards. They don't need to do that against this team.
That ends up being a 50-yard kick, basically. And you're right, Coach. It puts you inside the 10-yard line.
Summers will come out now and be the quarterback for the SANDCRABS. First and 10, SEABREEZE from their 9-yard line. Summers keeps the ball himself, and he's brought down by Quincy Pratt.
Coach Cahagan, I think the Tigers have realized that SEABREEZE is not a normal SEABREEZE bunch, and they're in this thing to kind of run the ball, and they are getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer and bringing an extra in here and there, and the sledding's not going to get any easier for that SEABREEZE run game.
I'm waiting for that. What's going to be the right time to throw the first pass?
Well, they tried one, and the quarterback was sacked.
Pulling two here. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
Summers and Sylvester with a bad exchange. That's Sylvester falling on the ball at the 5-yard line. It'll be third down, and we'll call it 14.
So in 2 snaps here, they've lost 4 yards. And just limit your play calls, not just the down and distance, but the place on the field here. You don't want to be crazy with the ball and give them an easy opportunity, but at the same time, you want to give yourself a chance to maybe have the first down.
Coach Beach calls a timeout. As he calls it and takes it with his team, we will take it as well. 6:31 to go in the second quarter. Your score, Cocoa 7, SEABREEZE 3.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the stadium. Coach Oakham, what do you think? Oh, I see what's going on. Third down for the SANDCRABS. Summers going to keep the ball himself. And he's going to bring on another punt attempt for Sam Hayward.
Sam's getting more work than the Crabs would like for him to.
Well, I'm sure they'd rather him get his punt work in than his kickoff work in. Right?
Correct.
No.
Correct, right?
Think about that one there, Coacher.
Wow.
I'm just trying to get this guy who's motivated here.
I'm highly motivated.
I can tell. Hayworth from the back of the end zone.
Beautiful.
A great
turned
kick.
it over.
That's going to be fair caught by Jamel Dean at the SeaBreeze 47-yard line. As the officials take timeout on the field, let's finish up some more of the area games. Coach Allen, 3-2 Palatka, travels to 5-1 Flagler. Flagler just played Monday, but they have the area's leading rusher in Keyshawn Bird.
Let me tell you what, Keyshawn Boyd is some kind of is some kind of player. I watched them against Matanzas. They have 3 or 4 skill players that are as good as anybody around. They've done a good job. I think it's a little interesting that they are 5-1 and still have yet to receive any consideration at all in the 8A poll. But they've got their work cut out for them. Going down the road, they're going to have to play the likes of First Coast. At Palatka, much improved. They are running some veer stuff. They're in the eye. They have some big backs. Coach Lightsey, I know, is concerned about. I'll just pick an upset here and pick Palatka just because I want to. So how about that?
Coach, haven't heard much of Jimmy Robinson's name on the year.
No, and you know, Jimmy was a guy, he plays in the secondary for him, and he was a little bit more last year with Bird, had a hamstring injury, didn't play. So Jimmy had to play in the backfield. Now Jimmy's moved out to the slot, which I think is a more natural position for him. And just knowing that staff and knowing how they kind of go about things, I think they're just a little bit more comfortable in the run game portion of offense. And but I think that Jimmy Robinson is some kind of player. I know that someone like a Coach Beach would love to have a Jimmy Robinson to get the ball to. He's not unlike Charles Nelson. I don't know that he's as fast as Charles or maybe quite on Charles's level, but he is a very, very good football player.
First and 10 for the Cocoa Tigers from the SeaBreeze 47-yard line. Hudson decides to keep it himself. He'll step out of bounds at around the 40-yard line, and it'll be second down for the Tigers. Continuing on with some area games, Coach Oakham, 2-4 Halifax, first year 11-man football, goes to Jacksonville Eagles View. How's Halifax going to bounce back from a 63-0 loss to Warner?
Well, the last time I saw the Eagles View play, they were a pretty dominant football team, so I think they'll probably go ahead and hand it to Halifax tonight.
Okay. Second down for the Tigers. We'll get back to the last two games here in just a second. Hudson by himself. He'll throw near side, has a receiver. That's Kevin Troutman on the catch. He'll get knocked out of bounds by R.J. Stokes. Warner at 4-1, Coach Allen. They're going to Vero Beach St. Edwards. They're only 2-2. Warner has won 3 in a row. St. Edwards is on a 2-game streak.
I'll tell you what, St. Ed's has done a really good job over the last 2 years of building a program with some young kids. They were fundamentally sound. Again, I'll pick an upset there. I think St. Ed's might pull the upset there.
First and 10 for the Tigers from the SeaBreeze 33-yard line. Empty backfield again. Hudson.
Oh, they got to play here.
He's going to run and run.
They just pinned and pulled, Coach, and they got an edge right there. I think they may have found something right there. That looks like trouble for the Crabs if that's going to persist.
Cole Dunnigan on the stop for SeaBreeze. Rounding out the area games, Coach Oakham, 3-2 Bronson at 2-3 Taylor. Taylor is 2-1 at home. Bronson is winless on the road.
Well, I don't think Bronson has a chance playing up with Pearson. I think Coach Williams said his team was going to be much improved this year, and I think that they'll probably set a good tone there tonight. and I'll pick Taylor. Coach Ron Pagano, principal.
Hudson on the carry. He shakes Cole Dunnigan's attempted tackle, picks up enough yards for a first down. Move chains. That's what I'm saying. Judson the whole time. Put that down in the tally sheet. I only said Hudson once. You guys shouldn't be paying attention anyway. First down and first down for the Tigers.
Coach, going back to that Taylor game, how about some of the talent that has come through Pearson Taylor? They've had some excellent football players there.
Yes, they have, and it's a country place with country kids, and they're hard nosed and not much else to do in Pearson but play football, and just well go out and have a good football team. And I think Coach Williams will do a good job providing leadership for them. But there have been some fine football players come through that small school.
Absolutely. Tommy Moody, K-Ron Hill, just to mention a few. And then
you got to mention the head coach himself.
The A-Train was something special.
He did. Out of little old Pearson, he ended up at North Carolina. Zach Armour on the reception for the Tigers brings up second down, and we'll call it 7. There's another guy that came out of Pearson. What's his name? Chipper something or other. I can't remember him, but
be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. That'd be Chipper Jones.
And a number 1 pick. I mean, ultimately he went to Jacksonville Bulls, but he is Pearson Taylor through and through. 3:36 to go in the first half. It's Cocoa 7, SEABREEZE 3. Welcome back to Municipal Stadium. Larry Kelly Field, Billy Gahagan, Steve Allen, and Rocky Yoakum bringing you the SEABREEZE SANDCRABS and the Cocoa Tigers. On the carry that time is Justin Weaver. It was second down. It's now third down and 4 as the Tigers are knocking on the door.
Same scheme, Coach. Like I said, it looks like they may have found something on their little pull and pin over there. They're just letting Big Jawan Taylor grab hold and pin to set the edge, and they're getting their guard around on the play side, and I think that is going to be something that they're going to continue to do.
SEABREEZE showing blitz.
Same play the other way. It's the old buck sweep blocking.
Yes, sir.
No fullback dive, but
Weaver again on the carry. It's first and goal for the Tigers from perfectly placed the SEABREEZE 10.
And, SEABREEZE, we talked about, using the clock and slowing down or speeding up the game, however you want to look at that. But we're here with 2:34 left, and, they're right here in a 7-3 ball game. Whoa, what an athletic play that was, Coach.
Kind of leaped over the pile, didn't he?
And continued. That was very nice. Made nicer by, like I said, standing on the field beside that young man and just seeing physically how large he is and how long he is. Coach Yoakum, I couldn't help but look down here and see another SEABREEZE legend roaming the hollows of Municipal Stadium, Coach Jerry Chandler.
Jerry Chandler, 40-plus years at the school. What a fine man. My athletic director the whole time I was there, and I think the world of Jerry Chandler.
Absolutely, agreed. Oh, what a throw and catch, Coach.
Put it in a little bitty window there.
He certainly did. That was just a fine throw.
Number 12 on the reception.
That was a 9-play drive.
As many points as they score, you think they'd know who was on their extra point team.
Right.
They've been, it was the kicker they needed to call out.
Again,
both times.
Mark Mosley, who's over there talking to Riggins.
You know, if memory serves me correct, I think Mosley's number was 7. The point after is no good. 1 minute, 39 seconds remaining in the first half of homecoming night for the SANDCRABS. Cocoa leads 13-3. It's just hard to get a feel for what's going on at this game. I don't know. I don't want to say that SEABREEZE is running the ball intentionally. I just don't know.
But they are. But they are.
You can say that.
You can. It's legal. Legal this year.
I guess we'll say that then.
Say this is the first time you've seen a straight ahead kicker
Since me.
who laid the junk. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I was always taught that going straight on was the way to go. If you're a punter, you don't. Never mind. I was coached by some guys that just aren't here anymore. God love them.
Absolutely.
Juwan Armstrong set to kick off again from his 40-yard line. 1 minute, 39 seconds to go in the first half.
This on the ground.
Take a bounce to the 25-yard line. We're going to lose quite a bit.
Nowhere to go there.
Tavius Sanders fields it at the 25 and gets brought down at the 16.
SEABREEZE has negative return yards. Can't let that ball hit the ground. You know,
No,
you've got to come field that. Well, with 1:32 left, I'm going to be very interested to see how the SANDCRABS approach this. In the past, it'd be very evident what they were going to do, but with how they've game planned this one tonight, it's hard to say what they're going to, if they're going to try to score, just going to try to hold on and run the clock out. Oviedo would have been wise to do that in one situation last night.
Or all of them.
or all.
Justin Muller back in a quarterback for the SANDCRABS. 1st and 10, SEABREEZE from their 15-yard line. Muller's going to look to pass, has a receiver. He's going to throw that ball. That's intended for Rashad Floyd. Just overthrown.
You know, one time I was sitting in Bobby Bowden's office, and he had the quarterbacks in there, and he drew a big old mountain on the board, and he drew like a mortar, and he drew that thing up and dropped it back down like that, and he explained that's how you should throw the deep balls, throw it up over and let it drop down. He then dropped his cigar and hit his head on the table, but and the quarterbacks were hard-pressed not to laugh. But Bobby had a great idea about that. You got to put a little air under that deep ball.
I think Bobby had a lot of great ideas. It translated into a whole lot of wins.
Bobby had a lot of great players, too.
Yes, he did. Anybody that's got a lot of wins did.
Sylvester again on the carry.
Good job by Cocoa here utilizing their timeouts. They're going to get this ball back, Coach.
Yes, they are.
.118 to go in the first half. It's Cocoa 13, SEABREEZE 3. Homecoming night for the SANDCRABS. A lot of alumni in attendance. The smell of hot dogs,
Which
burgers.
is the purpose of homecoming. And
There he is, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Rocky Hilton to the show.
Who was welcoming Coach Obvious to the show.
Let me know how the second half turns out, guys.
I'll do it.
And we have a mutiny.
All in good fun, fellas. All in good fun.
Man,
It's all love.
what are you guys going to do next year for work?
I'm
He's
retired.
retiring. He doesn't have to worry about that, Coach.
Yeah.
Third down for the SANDCRABS. Sylvester on the carry finds himself a crease. You know, the tackle was going to be a yard short.
Yes.
He gets slung down to the ground. Enough yards for the first down. Helmet comes off for one of the Tigers. They'll take a play off. First and 10 for the SANDCRABS.
Quarterback this way. Nope. Running back this way.
That's Rashad Floyd on the speed sweep. Brandon Phillips and Marquise Lewis in on the stop.
Crabs having some success with their jet sweep series, and that's their best play so far tonight.
Sure has been.
.31 seconds and running. I think the Crabs are just going to be happy just to get out of this half at a 13-3.
Same play the other way, looks like. Nope, counter.
That should do it.
You can hear Coach Beach telling everybody to take off, so we're going to do the same thing as the clock comes winding down. 13-3 your score, Coco. Over SEABREEZE.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. Bill. Yeah.
Welcome to another exciting night of high school football from Municipal Stadium and Larry Kelly Field in Daytona Beach. Tonight, Double D Productions brings you the number 3 ranked 4A Cocoa Tigers and the 6A SEABREEZE SANDCRABS. Hello, everyone. I'm Billy Gahagan along with legendary coaches Steve Allen and Rocky Yoakum. Legendary.
Half right, Bill. Half right.
We're legends in our own mind, Bill.
Whatever matters to you guys matters the most. Coaches, Cocoa High School comes to Volusia County ranked.
Because Chris's work is at the hospital.
Right.
St. Augustine. And he almost had to move with his position.